Laziness, education, and brain drain, factors shaping linguistic homogeneity. We humans tend to seek the leisure more than anything in the world. Hours of searching in dictionaries are replaced by seconds of clicking, and online translators, the rubbing of the laundry in a huge bale of water, which required a lot of time and muscular strength, was replaced by pouring in the powder and closing the washing machine door. I would not be surprised if in future there will be possibility to replace thinking and automatize it. Convenient me would choose to use it. The more required by less the better, and it will not change. While discussing current balance between linguistic homogeneity and linguistic diversity, we have to bear in mind the factor of mankind laziness. It is a major drive for evolution. Seeking the unsurpassed gives the motivation for making things in a way better and more efficient. Languages are undoubtedly the heritage of culture and history, but at the same time they constitute a barrier towards global exchange of information. The domination of one of the languages is not only a resultant of the globalization process, notwithstanding the necessity of human need to standardize the global language. Another aspect influencing the linguistic homogeneity is education. We can observe some tendencies towards teaching some languages rather than others. For instance, English is widely used as the language of instruction in schools and universities worldwide. The increasing importance of higher education, particularly in English-speaking countries, has contributed to the global role of the English language in academic settings. It is worth noting that the teaching of a particular language is strongly linked to its suitability for young people in their future careers. In Poland, it is common to teach German as a third language in secondary school, while in Ukraine, young people learn Polish in addition to English. This is related to the geographical location of the country, but also to the labor migration of the country's workers to another country. Last but not least, it is important to analyze the factor correlated to brain drain. According to British Statistical Office (ONS) in 2022, 1.163 million people came to the UK for long-term residence. Meanwhile, the largest percentage of Arabs emigrate to the United States in search of employment. And in general, most people are willing to emigrate to English-speaking countries. Many people migrate to English-speaking countries in search of better opportunities. This migrations to countries with better opportunities contributes to the widespread use of the English or any other dominant language in various communities around the world. Trade and business have a not insignificant impact on linguistic homogeneity. It will come as no surprise that the 5 largest listed companies, Apple, Microsoft, MSFT, Alphabet, Google, Amazon.com, AMZN, and NVIDIA, NVDA, together have a market capitalization of around $8.7 trillion, which is almost 25% of the capitalization of the S&P 500 and about 3.2 times the U2.7 trillion capitalization of Russell, which is an amalgamation of the 3,000 largest companies listed on the U.S. market. This is why English is commonly used as the language of business and trade. International companies, corporations, and organizations use English as a means of international communication, making it an informal language of global business. On the other hand, we have people and their feeling intertwined with a strong sense of belonging. In the last 2 to 3 decades, the increased importance of minority languages, language shift, endangerment, and loss can be attributed to a global awareness of the significance of cultural diversity, with efforts to protect minority languages seen as integral to preserving varied cultural heritages. The recognition of linguistic rights as human rights, particularly championed by indigenous movements worldwide, has played a crucial role. Additionally, concerns about the homogenizing impact of globalization on cultures and languages have fueled efforts to maintain linguistic diversity as a counterbalance. Technological advances, educational initiatives, environmental sustainability considerations, increased research in linguistics, and community activism have collectively contributed to the heightened prominence of these issues, emphasizing the economic, cultural, and environmental value of preserving minority languages in the face of ongoing global changes. The future is always a huge unknown, but regarding reoccurring tendencies, we can predict that in Poland, there will be increased number of borrowings from the global language. It is easy to observe it while analyzing different generations. The baby boomers generation, those who were born after the war to 1964, along with Generation X, 1965 to 1980, were taught in school Russian language, while Millennials, 1981 to 1996, and Gen Z, 1997-2012, are not only taught English, but in order to graduate from secondary school, they have to pass final exam, Matura, in English on B2 level, and in near future it may increase to C1 level. It is also worth noticing the youngest generation, Gen Alpha, who are raised by technology and favorite influencers who speak in Polish English, which means to inclusion of a lot of English words into the speech. The truth is that globalization, tech, and rights advocate linguistic diversity, countering homogeneity concerns in current linguistic landscape.